Hey man, is that better? Awesome, glad. Awesome, guys. I'm glad it's a lot better. I also closed my balcony door just to reduce a little bit of the background noise. Thanks, bro. Like hooks and such are just very practice and just getting dialed down of where to aim, where to adjust. Awesome, guys. I'm glad this sounds better. Uh, Thinking about trying to go over on this one. It's pretty risky. I'm gonna use a different ball, I think, just for the fun of it. Get a little bit more distance. See, that's kind of where I want to aim. 1, 2 and a bit. I fucked it. Fucking around a little bit too much. So yeah, obviously that puts you at a big disadvantage. How's the music levels now that I'm using like a iPhone mic instead of a ambient mic? Hopefully on this next shot I'll get better wind. Yeah, we get better wind here as well. So I'll actually be able to give it a good run. One, two, and just a little bit extra. Each club is different, I find. I don't prescribe to the 23 rings or 27 win rule because I find each club goes a little bit differently. Having said that, I way over adjusted that one. So maybe that is right. It's just kind of a preference thing and figuring out where on each club each one lies. I'm going to play this one out. I'm going to play it with a basic ball at this point. I should have just did what he did initially and laid up, but I'm going to try and get... That's a very good shot. Might as well try and go for it again. Let's use a Marlin. So let's use a basic ball so we're not wasting anything. That's where I want to aim. 1, 2. And there. You know what? The wind's going to kill it just a little bit, so we're going to go there. Didn't run out of time this time, which is good. Too far right, so at least I'd hit it in play this time. That's why I feel my adjustment on the first one was right. Not sure what happened, but hopefully this guy makes this eagle and just ends the misery that is this match. So he's trying to chip in with a down and one, which I wouldn't recommend because he missed that and he might even be off the green. I wish I had a camera so you guys could see my facial expression right now. So we'll talk about power shots with hooks and slices with sand irons and rough irons. So as you can see, I'm playing this one kind of like off, in the direction of the wind, off the white outside ring. I'm going to play at about 3. I have lots of room here. This one I want to go fairly straight with just a little curl, so I'm not really going to adjust that much that way. But as you can see, the arrow goes back and forth a lot more on sand and rough irons. So you're actually going to hook and slice the ball a lot more, so you have to give yourself more adjustment. Again, I don't have the exact adjustments for those. I kind of just play them off feel. I know with my Spitfire 6s and 7s and my Nirvana 8s, I play at about 3 full adjustments. So about 15 rings. That's a good shot. So as you can see, he was using the down on 1, which is it's not a terrible club to use. It's accurate and it has good reach. I just wouldn't suggest using it if you were not going to dunk, because as you can see, it doesn't have a ball guide. You don't know where the ball is going at all. That was a pretty terrible match. I'd like to get that one again just to do it properly this time. John, how's the music sound? Big Topper is a really fun club, depending on what hole it is. It's really not accurate. It's really... what's the best way to put it? It doesn't have any carry. It's not accurate. You have no idea where it's going, but it can go a long way if you have the right hole for it. Is that bacon, Chris? Let's give this a try. Curl it a little bit with the wind to get some extra distance. Normally I wouldn't mind hitting a great shot with an Apocalypse or something that has some accuracy, but extra mile, you just really want to get... you want to hit the ball straight. This is an interesting club choice because this hole you need backspin and B52 as 0. It's nice I'm being let back into this game a little bit at least. Having said that, he's going for a rough bump here, which is a really good shot. Really good selection. B52 becomes a really good club later on in the game, but that's a good shot. Not really great at low levels. A backbone's probably better. Let's just hit this one full tits. Yikes. Bunker practice. So again, a down and one. I wouldn't use this club unless I was dunking everything. You can roll it in, but you have no idea where it's going necessarily. It also hits the ball up in the air quite a bit, so it's going to be affected a little bit more by the wind. This is one of like the best clubs that you actually get to use. As a in this club set. I think we chipped that one in. Because Malibu actually all the way up is, from when you get it to all the way up, is actually a really good club and probably the second best sand wedge in the game. So, you know, maybe bunkers aren't what I should be worrying about. I should be not hitting it in the rough. And yeah, a lot of these shootouts I haven't played in a long time, so I don't actually know the adjustments right now. So I kind of have to figure those out as I go. This guy's loving the level 1 epics, where I'm betting this goes screaming past the hole. Hammerhead's a good club too, but it just needs some backspin. I play this max backspin. I literally just want to land it right about here. That's full club is way over here, actually, so. Yeah, I'm still good there. And just need to hit a perfect ball. I just landed on, so that second hop is just on the fringe. Should snuggle up nice and close. Cool, bro. Thank you for coming out and watching. And hopefully come charge that battery and get back. As you guys can see, I'm playing tier 7 with a basic ball. Or Marlins. My general recommendation, just to save balls, better balls, till at least 2 or 8. Oh, this is where I'm going to miss having the big dog in the bag. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to aim. It's going to be a little difficult, because I still just want to hit a perfect ball. This is kind of forgiving, so I'm not as worried. There's a lot of fairway. But I do want to get up there as far as possible, just because I'm using the Viper in my bag and I need as much distance for my second shot. So this hole, if you play it up here, is actually a really difficult second shot. This is something that Tommy pointed out to me as a great angle to play, is kind of playing for this rough bump right here. Play it 4. Try and curl around it just a little bit. Hopefully I don't hit any trees. And just leaving yourself out here on the left, which gives you a much better angle for playing this hole. I would have liked to go a little further left if I could, but as you can see, this guy's going to play this one straight down the middle. And he's going to leave himself an incredibly difficult third shot. Sometimes it's not about how far you hit the ball, it's about where you place yourself for your next shot. As you can see in a couple of my earlier matches, I put myself in trouble, but I put myself in a spot where I could make my next shot instead of just trying to blast it as far as I could and maybe putting myself into even more trouble. That actually turned out as good as it could possibly be. But as you can see, he's still going to have to shoot his next shot around trees, even more so than I do. He's way up there, but you know, at the same time, I'd rather be where I am. I'm going to hit a hook shot into here, I think. Or a slice shot. That's where I want to be. That's where I'm going to aim. And then I'm going to play it over here somewhere. No overpower. I'm not always the best at the non-overpower hook shots, so we'll see how this turns out. As you guys can see, when like people start figuring out hooks and power hooks and slices, it was kind of game changing. I would say it's somewhere around when I started playing Masters that it became a big thing, and it really just has now gone from something that a couple people did to a tool that you need in your bag to do well in tournaments. And really just like it breaks a lot of the design of Playdemic's holes, because it allows you to play in a way that they didn't intend you to. It's going to stay in the fairway. And if anybody's just joining, this is a little project. I've maxed my 4th account the other day. I've got my 2 Masters accounts that I play for tournaments. And this is just kind of, I've done an RTG account, which I maxed in 535 games. Which was a little disappointing, but actually quite difficult. I maxed my 4th account, which is just started off as a fuck around account that I'd play at smoke breaks on work, play on smoke breaks at work. It's a good shot. And this is kind of started off as a account I was just going to play rookie tournaments with, playing with just T3 or below clubs, and just in chatting with a buddy of mine, we brought up like how difficult it'd be to max out just using those clubs. So that's kind of where this started. Well, cat 1 is actually not that bad. Having said that, I think he's going to hit this one over because really, again, this is another hole where you just want to bounce it on the fringe there as short as you can, and you always want to stay right of the hole. So hopefully we can do better than that. You know, finding where my max my club is, where my min is, so I can see how wind is going to affect it. And like literally I just want to stop it up on the top there. So I kind of want my first bounce just to be on that little uphill of the fringe. With how short it is and with the extra wind, I'm going to play it about 2 wind. Just give it a little help to make sure it stays right, and then I hit it great left. You know, not a great shot. I over-adjusted a little bit, but at the same time, it worked out for me because I didn't end up going screaming down that hill. As you guys can see, like Golf Clash is not about... It's not about winning every hole outright. Hopefully I can get some Viper cards here. No. It's not about winning every hole outright. It's about making sure that you go to shootouts and you just manage to beat your opponent in shootouts. And yeah, as I said before, guys, anybody who has any questions in chat or anything like that, feel free to bring them up, and I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. If you guys want to see anything particular, like hook shots or how I play certain shots, feel free. Feel free to ask, and I'll try and do my best to show you guys my take on how I play certain holes, play certain shots. That was a really good shot. Get in the rough. That was really well played. I'm not even sure what he did there. He's in the rough, so I'm just going to take a chance on this one, I think. I got a weird bounce to the right. Do I ever play with Max B52? Yes, I use that exclusively. I think it's like the best overall short iron. It's like using... Do I stream anything else? Any other games or any other... Sorry, back to Chris's question. I think B52 is like using a little sniper. And though I use Cat 7 on my main account, I think sniper is still like the best overall club, and therefore, you know, to have that accuracy, that ball guide with a B50, with a short iron is great. I don't find the adjustments too bad. I think it's, as I said, it's like using sniper. And so this little hole here, I really just want to, where my ball guide is right now, that's where I want to be. I want to use the slope at the back of the green. And no, I don't stream any other games. This is the only game I play currently, Nick. I played some other games in the past, online computer games, but not too much. Yeah, I agree with you, Go Nuts. I prefer accuracy and ball guide are kind of my things I go for. I like the option that if I slightly miss my adjustment and happen to miss hit perfect, I still have a chance for the ball to go in. It's rare that it happens, but it's, I think the Hornet's a great club, and at max it has good enough backspin to be usable pretty much anywhere. I think, the Sniper is like the best all-around wood in the game. I think it's the best all-around club in the game. Ooh, close. See, Chris, you should be using all accuracy clubs. Hornet is an amazing club, Nick, and I would personally only upgrade it to hopefully when I get my Kingfisher to level 7, which is close. I'd switch over and let you guys see. You probably should throw the quarterback in your bag, though Pox 7 is pretty beastly when it comes to accuracy as well. I'd switch over and let you guys show you guys the bag I use mainly for tournaments now, but then I'd have to log back into this one, and it's a pain in the ass with email and such. Having said that, I use a Pox 6. I'm about halfway to 7. I use Cataclysm 7. I use B-52 7. Currently using Hornet 7. But I will probably switch to Kingfisher when I get it. And yeah, Nick, or go nuts. The ball guide is crazy. The accuracy is great. It's got good backspin. The only downside is it's a little bit short, but rarely do I find that an issue unless when it comes to shootouts. My Falcon is almost level 7, but I don't think I'd ever use it over Hornet or Thorn because it's... I'd maybe use it over Thorn because... So again, I don't know how to play this hole. This drove me nuts in the tournament. I think I'm just going to rip it and see what happens. Try not to go out of bounds. That's in the water. Right in the middle. I should really learn how to play this hole safe. Yeah, Falcon, I only use Thorn situationally in tournaments. I used to use it as it's a great club as well. I sometimes switch to it just for fun playing T11, but then when I do use that, then I just try and dunk everything, so it becomes, I don't win as many games. Falcon could be interesting, and I might use it situationally over the Thorn, just because it has more accuracy, and I like that 75 accuracy, 1.5 win per rings. It's just not a club where it's great at everything. It's kind of a jack of all trades, but master of none. This guy's killing me on this hole. This is where you just bring out the basic ball because you're already going to lose. Oh yeah, we're going to go for it. I'm going to guess that's where I want to aim. Because it's downhill and the wind will push it. I'm going to guess that's my adjustment with a Pox 6 or EM6. And we're just going to see what happens. No, underplayed it a little bit. It's close. This guy's using bunny balls on tier 7, which, I mean, use whatever ball. You pay your money, you do what you want to do. I actually did buy a bunch of those because I think they're great. I used them a lot in the last Masters tournament. They're not an infinite resource, though, So having said that, I would not. Let's see what we can do here. Aim there. I would not use them for regular play because I would not want to run out of them. Almost made it. Yeah, and as I said, funny balls, movie balls, things like that, I like to save them for tournaments. They're really useful when, come on, Kingfisher. Let's look at it. This is kind of like the one club I want to unlock. And I will unlock it eventually, but I'm going to buy it for this account just because it's the one short iron that actually is most usable. It doesn't have the ball guide at this point, but if I unlock it now, it'll at least start upgrading. I think it's situational per hole, Nick. I think it really just comes down to, do you need the curl? Do you need the accuracy? I think overall, most people kind of feel EM8 goes further. Me personally, I would use a POC 4 all the way, but I'm just really used to it as a club. Hey, John, thanks for coming out. Yeah, in that case, Nick, I would, you're not using it for shootouts, so you don't need any backspin. I would go with Apocalypse, just for the accuracy. That way, if you do miss, you're not screwing yourself. I like to think I hit most of my shots perfect, but at the same time, it's nice to have that bailout, especially if you have to overpower. Not missing as much as... I haven't really even looked at the tournament holes yet, I'll be honest. This is a shitty shot. This is where I want to land. No, this is where I want to land. It's going to go against the wind, so it's not going to curl as much. I over-adjusted, I think, but we'll see. It's exact same as Thanksgiving, but it also depends on the winds as well. I know in Thanksgiving tournament I played Masters for my first tournament with Apocalypse 4 or 5. And no Berserkers. And I managed a second in that. But it really depends on how they set up the course with the wind. Like, sometimes you just need that distance where everybody's going to be doing stupid things, hitting the ball in stupid spots that you can't do with certain clubs. I hate this shot. Hate this hole. I'm going to try and hit this one just right, just to get a little bit extra curl on it. I've still got a huge stack of snow globes left because, again, talking about balls is finite resources, being aware that I'm not going to have them forever. So I generally, when I hit stupid shots on tier 11, I'm playing with berserkers. Occasionally bust out some globes, but I have a lot of globes left just for that reason. Oops. This shot drove me nuts in the tournament because I'd always be trying to make it. When realistically all you gotta do is get it over. That's max there. That's minimum there. So I want to ideally land there. I play this probably right about there. I'm going to curl it. I'm going to try and hit this one great left. Just to get more curl on it. You know, all you got to do on this shot is get it on the green. Hey Graham, how's it going? I'm actually G2. Graham Wright was the original Max Graham in Elite. We got some siren background music. Just so you guys know, I live on like a major emergency response route. Actually, two of them. I don't actually even notice it anymore, but a lot of ambulances and such go by. Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. Like, I think they need to start making good balls rewards for tournaments. Having said that, Playdemic's a business, and they know if they put them out there, people will buy them. So, like, you don't have to pay to play. It's nice to have those. You don't need them. I know Charlie Sally is a great player who's an admin in Legends who plays fully free to play. And yeah, you can do the same thing with a Kingmaker that you can with a Bunny Ball. You have to play a little bit more win, but doesn't mean you can't do it, right? Alright, I'm going to play this one safe this time. This is the T3 Club account. So I just want to hit my ball up there somewhere. I'm going to overpower it slightly just to get up there, but I don't have to. Graham, I think it's a fun idea. I think it's going to be challenging for sure. I know I had a little up and downs in tier 6 even. So by the time I get to tier 11, everybody will have a Pox 7 Cat 7, so it'll be definitely an interesting challenge. This guy can't make this shot. Tier 3 and down, so I'll be using Extra Mile. I'll be using a combination of Big Dog and Viper. Backbone Goliath. Just got my Kingfisher, which I don't even think I put in my bag. I'm not sure. What's the next club? I'm using the Firefly as a wedge because I like the ball guide and such. This might be a risky shot. Yeah, this is the shot we're going to hit. Hopefully we get a tiny bit more bounce because it's downwind a bit. going to curl it with the wind, try and kick it towards the hole. And it didn't work. Oh well. It was a bit of a ballsy shot to try and hit, but you know, this is just a fun account. I'll show you guys my stats. I've already burned through a lot of games just playing tournaments and just messing around playing on tier 3. Welcome back, man. That's a good shot. Let's see if I can make this one. I made the last one. So sand wedges compared to rough shots go way higher up in the air. So you just got to adjust more, obviously. More effective wind. Yeah, and make that one. I should use Malibu more often, apparently. I find hitting sand and rough shots perfect. Or kind of, you kind of get in a good rhythm some days, and some days you just don't have it. I find often hitting full power rough shots, full distance rough shots, I hit those perfect much more often than I hit close little chips. I played this shot a bunch of times. Graham Wright's a good dude as well, Nick. Very good player, very knowledgeable. We chat from time to time. We talked about something the other day. I can't remember quite what. I know he's a big fan of the Kingfisher as well, I think. Which I'm going to check. And yeah, I did put it in my bag. Oh, this is not going to be fun. How many backspin do I have? 3, which is like the equivalent of 1 backspin with a long iron. This is where I want to hit. I'm going to play this. It looks awesome. And we're going to try and swing this one in against the wind, obviously. The pluses of the Kingfisher is it's not quite as short. It's close to being a really good shot. It's not quite as short. It gets up to about a distance. So you only lose about 10 yards of gap. It has great accuracy, great ball guide, usable spin. It's kind of like using a Hornet with more backspin, with more ball guide. And the distance gap shouldn't really ever affect you unless you're kind of playing in that range. I find for regular play, the only time I don't want a distance gap is for shootouts, because that's when you have to be more creative and you like to have your kind of stock shots, whereas for regular play, you can usually find a workaround. It's not going to cost you. All right. So this one plays a little bit downwind, so as you can see, if I hit this max over power, I'm going to go into trouble. So that's essentially where I want to hit it, which I think I can do. left. Again, extra mile not as forgiving. As some of the other clubs. It's actually, honestly, one of my least favorite clubs that even at 8, I've never used. I personally prefer a Thor's hammer almost right off the bat when you can get it, or an Apocalypse. I like to think, as I said before, I like to think I usually hit it perfect, but you like to not have some security when you hit a shot like that, which does happen. You know, if you put yourself closer, you can leave yourself a better chance of just making the chip, making your second shot. I would try and dunk this, but I have no idea what the range for this is. Try and move kind of in the direction of the wind. That seems like a lot. I'll play this one just half a ball outside the cup. I feel that's not enough, so I'm going to counter it just a tiny bit. And obviously try and hit perfect. And yeah, as you guys can see, that was big myths. Nick, are you playing Masters or Expert? See him hold this one out. And it's funny, Nick, there is actually some coordination in Masters as well to not everybody be in the same bracket. But there's so many good players up there that even what you may think is a weak bracket is 3 or 4 really strong players, plus a bunch of unknowns that you know could have a great week. Man, this new announcement from Playdemic not actually telling us anything is getting tough. Yeah, I mean, I know they keep saying big things are coming, which is hard to believe, but this guy's playing a very interesting style. Not a bad shot, though. Play this one exactly like I did last time. A little bit further up. And try and curl it in a bit. There's a lot of wind on this hole, so I'm going to play it almost full. Hopefully I didn't curl it too much, which I did. So I lost that one. You don't win every one, especially when you're playing with clubs that you're not familiar with. hopefully some point soon they decide to actually put a tier 12 in. Uh, I think the hold up on that has to be that they're trying to figure out a club system as well, and that's like the big thing that they're implementing to Masters isn't. Yeah, as I was saying, like I think they're trying to do a club thing where they change the clubs, add new clubs, whatever they're doing, upgrade systems, which must be what's holding it back. And yeah, Nick, play what you're comfortable with. At the same time, it's fun to play against the best and like challenge yourself. This shot, I like this hole. I remember it from the Wine Valley and playing it pretty straight up. I guess it's around there somewhere. Ooh, way back on the club. Overpowered a little bit. Just hit it great right. Come on, wind. No. That was an atrocious shot. Yeah, you should really just play which division. My personal take on it, you should play which division you get the most fun and challenge out of it. I don't agree with people playing like if I went down to pro with my clubs and just beat up on people or rookie. So it all comes down to like how you're going to have the most fun in the game, right? And hopefully that's not at the expense of others. But at the same time, what challenges you, what's good for you. I mean, I think if you win a couple experts, it's a good time to move up. And just kind of see what you can do on a bigger playing field. I don't have my trophies for my main here, obviously, but I think I played a couple pros for my first tournaments. Did okay. Moved up to expert. Did okay in Wine Valley. That's a good shot. Close. And then proceed through Halloween, through Cliffs, and California Classic. Went gold, silver, gold. And at that point, I kind of said, yeah, it's time to move up and see what I can do. And I managed to get a second and a fourth in my first Masters. Second and fourth. Which was pretty good. Pretty confidence inspiring. I've since shit the bed a little bit, but I play Masters because I will never go down to expert because there's no reason for me to. I enjoy the challenge of playing, and you build friendships chatting with the guys you're playing against as well. So, what clubs do you have there, Nick? Yeah, I managed to get through that one. The great shot was the shot I was trying to hit. It was just I didn't adjust enough for the wind. That's an interesting way to play this hole. I was trying to hit it great on that side purposely just to get a little bit extra curl, but as you can see, it didn't work out for me. This shootout is a really tricky one. where literally I just want to land the ball right where my second hop is there. And I want to stay on the right side. With this wind, it's going to be a little tricky. And I'm going to curl against the wind. That's being a bitch, but oh well. And I'm just going to hit a super safe shot here. Yeah, free wins, right? Yeah, Nick, I would say depending on the tournament, those clubs are good enough to play Masters. Like I wouldn't have played the Spring Major with those clubs. Because unless your name is Isabel or Jan, a Poc 4 is not enough to play that tournament. Having said that, depending on the course and the setup, you could definitely get by with a Poc 4. So it really just comes down to, playing what you're comfortable with, playing the tournament you're going to have the most fun. Like, I wouldn't have moved up to Masters if I didn't think I had a good chance of winning. Isabel is a great player. That's all I have to say about that. I'm going to try and hook this one around, which I've been doing awful at today. A little overpowered to be where I want to be. Yeah. I could have obviously gone with some topspin there, but that's another thing, Nick, is playing the tournament that you can afford to play as well. So skip this ad. This hole drove me nuts in the tournament. So I don't think I can actually reach from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hit it here. And I'm going to try and curl it up into that little corner there. And give myself the best chance at chipping it in from there. I know that feeling, Nick. I have a hard time. I know people say like lose 3 in a row, put it down, walk away, but I also have a hard time putting it down when I'm losing. So, and we all go through those days where you just lose. You feel like the game's rigged against you. I can promise you it's not. And yeah, you just keep playing, and you're gonna lose some games. It happens. I've been on some major losing streaks. I know, especially after tournaments, if I do badly, it takes a lot out of me, and like just tires me out. So I've gone on losing streaks where I've lost pretty much all but like 50 trophies on tier 11. And the first time that happened, I kind of shit about it and was like, oh, I'm never gonna get these back, but you do. See if we can actually make one of these and not hit a shitty shot. That seems like a lot, but oh well, we're gonna go with it. Closer than the last one. I should actually figure out what my accuracy is with that one. Firefly one is not the best wedge. Yeah, bro, you'll get there. As I talked earlier about the thing about tier 11 is that there's really good players there as well. There's also a lot of good players with good clubs on tier 10. And I feel personally the amount of bad beats and like lottery shootouts and stuff like that on tier 10 can make it really, really frustrating. Whereas tier 11 is also very hard. There's also a really good caliber of player. But at the same time, you also get a lot of players who come up and play a couple games, just try it out with 3,000 trophies or 2,000 trophies sometimes even. And the courses are fair. You win by skill and dialing down your shootouts and learning how to play them. Yeah, I agree with you, Graham. Like, for me, T10 has always been kind of the bane of my existence. I know when I did my RGG account, when I maxed the first time, I maxed my 2 accounts within a week of each other. The first time I played, got through tier 10 and went through tier 11. Tier 11 was just a breeze. But yeah, for my RGG account, I know I got really frustrated playing tier 10 just because the amount of people have better clubs than you, and that happens. You learn to play with that, but the amount of times people would just hit absolutely fluky shots out of nowhere can really get on you a little bit. Elevation changes with high winds, another thing you have to learn to play with. Go over on this one. Nope. That's not a shot I want to try. Sounds good again. I don't know what the issue is. I don't think I've had that sort of problem before. I don't know what's going on with the sound, guys. I don't know if that's any better or worse. I was having some issues with the sound earlier. It's not what I had before. So I'm kind of puzzled by the issue. I know restarting my iPad helps. I might have to do that again, just try again.